Okay, so today I had a beet, so I did cut a little piece, and then I just rubbed it on my cheeks like that, and then rubbed it on my lips. So I'm gonna use charcoal on my eyes and beets on the rest of lips and cheeks, and go all natural. Um, but anyways, I have a few things I wanted to say about it. First thing is Ray. Like, I don't know, maybe you just don't watch my stuff all the time. Maybe it's just every once in a while, because I've talked about the Doomsday Map extensively, I think, and explained it. So, you know, there's a communication gap or something happening, because I don't know what Genghis Khan and all this past stuff has to do with the Doomsday Map. So I will explain again what the Doomsday Map is, because I don't know if you're trying to compare it like to the Mayan calendar or something, like our all true history to every bad thing that's ever happened. Like, I'm not sure. Each age has its own distinct challenges. So in the Piscean age, in this duality age, in this superhero savior age, there was a lot of stuff to learn, and people are right now learning the other side of it. You know, it's a big thing. So anyways, so the Doomsday Map, when I first started hearing about it, was when I very first started waking up, and I started really getting more into, I don't remember how it went. It was like I was looking up something. I think I was looking up something about reincarnation or something. I don't even remember what it was. But Dolores Cannon came up. And so I started watching her, and I was like, oh my gosh, this woman is so interesting. Like, I didn't even know this woman. And she had books out and stuff. That's what I was saying. Like, I went through my spiritual awakening way back in my teens, but then I just got comfortable and just was like, well, you know, I believe in this, I believe in that. Doesn't match with anybody else around here, so I'm just a weirdo. So I just kind of, I just lived my life. But when I started waking up in this more present time, then I started seeing stuff about Dolores Cannon. And I was like, oh my gosh, this reincarnation stuff has gone a whole nother level. Like, I didn't know about QHHT and all of that stuff at that point. And so in her books, she talked about that in her, like, you can listen to her like conferences or whatever. There's a lot of videos of her speaking to groups of people. And so I can't say for sure where I saw this, but she was talking about all of these generals and stuff started going and retiring up by her. And she's up in the high hills. I swear she was up in the Appalachians somewhere. And she said it was very strange, because all of the, she could have said Ozarks. I don't know, got some mixed up now with the Ozarks and the Appalachian, but you can look it up. But so she started noticing all of these people were retiring up there. And so she, somewhere in there, she started looking into something or talking to somebody or something, but the projected naval map came up. And so she was the one talking about the projected naval map. That's where I first heard about it, when I first started looking it up. And so when I went in and looked it up, you'd see the whole landscape was going to change. But I think at the time I was way more focused on the solar event that people were talking about. So, the landscape changing, it's been changing continuously through Earth's history. So, like, that's like, I don't even know why we wouldn't expect that. Like, I don't know how people think, like, people just think so strangely. But so she was talking about this map and how it changed and how all of these different states and stuff were gone, and that made sense then why these guys were all going up into the high country. And so, that was a few years ago. Then all of a sudden, like last year, I started seeing all these people talking about the map, the Doomsday Map, the Doomsday Map. Everybody's talking about the Doomsday Map. And when they were talking about it, people were pointing out all these billionaires are going and buying all the land up that is available in those areas that is on the Doomsday Map right there. Like, and then so she was saying that or the people were talking about calling it the Doomsday Map, but when you go look that up, it's from Forbes magazine. So Forbes magazine had put out that map. At the same time, within a few months of that map being out there on Forbes, or at least I don't really know when it, I just started seeing more people talking about it last year, and I kept saying, that's the naval projected map. They kept calling it the Doomsday Map. It's like, I only know this is the naval map. And so then when people kept talking about it, then we started having all of these storms, and then Pakistan turned in to match the map right before our eyes. Like, I'm not sure what your point is, what, like, and then Africa, like I had seen months ago when, I don't even know, I mean, it could have been these scientists from a year ago or 2 years ago. I don't know, but they've been watching this area. I've watched the footage because in Africa they had this big split and it had separated. And so you had all these scientists that were out there trying to figure out, like, this separation. Well, on the Doomsday Map, it showed it was going to completely split. And so then last week, when it completely split, that is going to fracture even further. It's going to separate. Look at the map. It's already happening. I don't understand what the argument is. I don't understand what you're trying to get me to understand or see or something. Like, I'm not sure where you're coming from, if I'm missing out on something you're trying to say or something. But, I mean, if you don't want to believe the map, you don't want to believe things are changing, that's up to you. I mean, it kind of confuses me as why you listen to me at all if you don't agree with or think that I say anything that has any validity. But, to each his own. But anyways, like, I don't see this map having anything to do with past complications with these, crazy leaders. Like, these people have come into power over and over, killing people in mass quantities. And I'll tell you another thing. So this is where things, to me, are really getting creepy. So there's a whole thing. You can go back and look. Like, this stuff stays hidden. Like, they'll put out these scientific reports, just like the LED light thing, where, all this stuff with the blue light, all of that stuff that they already knew about. And they had already done the testing. They already knew how it affected us. They had already done it on the mice, the rat, whatever. They've already been doing all this. They already know what these lights and stuff do to us. That was already years and years ago. So when they start doing this and then they start bringing out the information, so years ago, they knew that we were going to have this complication, and now we are. But this is what they wanted. They wanted this outcome. And that is like, it's clear when you understand that they already had the information. They already fucking knew. So and this, I'm sure, I gotta talk in code, and I don't even know if. So, okay. So we got of the balloon situation, and more balloons showing up. More people, like, even in Montana, where they were saying if they just shot it down over there North Carolina or South Carolina or wherever, then what the hell are they shooting down over here? And it was the first footage of this whole thing going on up in theirs. And then when in the footage, when it shows that thing popping, all sorts of stuff come out. And they wanted to pop it, right over populated area, like especially outside at a beach where everybody's outside breathing in supposedly fresh air. So something came out of it. And I have seen where one lady was talking about, she went outside to try and get footage, and then when she went in, she got really, really sick. And on a sidebar of that, like I swear to God, I'm getting so fed up with trying to eat anything. Like yesterday, I ate baked potato, which I've eaten tons of those, and I had green onions and some cheese, butter, and sour cream, which I've had all of those things before. Not that particular potato, obviously. And then the only other thing I had was steamed broccoli, and I'm so fucking, my stomach is totally jacked. Like, again, it's got to be, I can only think of the poison being sprayed on the vegetables. And since it's government food, I kind of feel like even probably the volunteers wouldn't even know. Like, they could be told, like, oh, we got to make sure to keep this stuff fresh, spray this on it, keep it fresh, and so that they would. But really, it's super poisonous. Because my body is like, oh my God, I can't even believe it. It's crazy. It started just straight after I ate it, too. And then I thought, man, this is crazy that my stomach would be having such a reaction. I mean, like, jeez, off of broccoli? It's like a fucking spoonful of broccoli. It's mental. And then this morning, I'm just like, man, it's crazy. So it gets you to where, like, fuck, is there any motherfucking thing we can eat at all? So frustrating. I even got some of those baguettes, just those long French rolls. And I was like, oh, I'll just bake that. And then I'll just put some butter on it and eat that. And oh my God, it tasted so weird. Everything tastes so weird. Is it the chemicals they're putting on it or what? I don't know. Is it just us waking up to like this food is fake, or is it waking up to being like, I don't know. But did it always taste this way and I didn't notice? Like, I don't fucking know. So anyways, that whole thing. But, I know that I knew as soon as I saw anything up in the air that is a round thing, and then you're going to say it's carrying a camera spying on us. Like, they got satellites for that shit. We're not fucking stupid. And then they're going to let it come right into our airspace, and then it goes from a weather balloon, and then it's a spy craft, and then it's like all this bullshit. It's such fucking nonsense. I cannot believe how people just believe dumb shit. And I'm going to get to that in a minute too, because I can't, oh my Lord. So anyways, the whole thing is, okay, so we've got all this zombie apocalypse on the board, right? All of this stuff about that. So there's also a movie, I can't remember what it's called. It's not This Is Us, but I don't know why that name is coming into my mind. It seemed like it was something like that. I can look it up if somebody wants to see it. It's clips. It's these I'm sure I have it in one of my liked things on my TikTok, because it's clips out of this show that these people are showing, and it is about this man, this word, it's such a, okay, those two words, I feel like they're going to really flag. So I'm going to spell the one I'm going to say, and I may be being paranoid, but fuck, get your fucking shit censored and see how paranoid you get. So it's an F, and then a U, and then an N, and then a G, and then an I. And that has this ability, this certain dust. Okay, and you got to keep in mind too, there's a lot of talk over in China, and I think maybe even in Japan, but there's all this stuff they just keep on bringing. Like, they've got these viruses coming, they're 1,000-year-old zombie virus that they just undug. Or, oh, they just undug, now we got 30,000 new dinosaurs that are running loose. Like, it's this crazy shit that you just keep hearing. And so whatever the hell they have going over there. And there's a whole thing too, like on the doomsday map and the Euphrates, and the religious prophecy underneath that is that the angels are underneath the Euphrates. Euphrates is drying up. And so all of that prophecy is happening, all but the doomsday map, all of that stuff, it shows. And so then the that stuff I was talking about comes from this certain thing that grows, that is those things that grow out in my yard. But there's a whole thing, and this is where you can go back, and science over there was talking about this months ago. It could have been years ago. The same way as people pull up like the agendas and say like all this stuff that is happening right now, it says right there exactly what they're going to do. It's mapped out. It's a recipe. And so it's the same thing on this. They're explaining about this FUNG. And so then they, and what it does and what it has been doing to ants. So this is where you can look it up. You might be able to find more about it from those studies, because it was on these ants. And these ants, this thing would go in and kill the host, and then it would reanimate it, and it would take control over it, and it would grow one of those out of its head. So it was a zombie ant being led by the parasitic creature had taken over, and where people don't even think about those things as being creatures. Everything is fucking alive. Like, people need to fucking get their heads wrapped around it. And so, and it's got its own agenda. It's got its own thing. Everything has its own thing. Even the fucking snail that doesn't know that we are even exist, it has its own daily thing that it has to motivate itself to do. You know, it's like every creature has its own role. And so this stuff, this powder form of this stuff that they talk about in the movie, they created, or the show, that they created this zombie sickness, because even when they get the sickness, then they want to pass it on. So they want to make sure that we all get it. And so that's their number one thing in the host mind, is to, you know, infect everyone else, which I don't know, I'm assuming it's through a bite or something. And so they had been studying about this stuff over there. Then it comes out in a movie explaining what's going to happen. Then they put it up in the sky, it pops, and I think that's what's in it. And so it will work along with the blue, like if all you do is inhale it. Once it's inhaled, it's in you. And man, this is scary shit, man. I don't even like fuck, man. God, it's hard to see this shit. It's like, you don't want to scare people, but it's like, you gotta fucking see. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Fuck. So, this powder has already been it's already come on us. Like, wherever, I'm sure it's certain places where, you know, and what's going on in Turkey right now is horrible. I keep hearing people who have seen the footage. It's really, really horrible what's going on there. And so many people dead. And there's going to be, you know, more of that over here. It's going to reverberate. Funny enough, I had just seen a guy, and he was in Chicago, and he was live, and he was walking around talking about what was going on in Turkey. And I was like, man, you're over in the place where it's going to probably reverberate back. And he's walking around showing all this, like, downtown Chicago. He's, like, across the water or something, so you can see all these big buildings and these bridges and shit. It's like, oh, my God. I wish I could look at some of this stuff and not see what I see. So, anyways, I think that they've already, you know, started infiltrating us with that. And, you know, just like they weren't dependent on that. I mean, they've put that stuff in the rain. They've put it in our faucets. They've put it, all the stuff is in everything. It's in all of our food. It's in everything we consume is some sort of form of, you know, poison us or controlling us, you know. And so, anyways, that... I mean, it goes right along with the people are going to get sick. There's going to be the sickness. And there was another one, too, besides that powder stuff that they've been studying and put in our programming and then flew over us. There was another one, too, of another one of their fucking dastardly plans. Like, we're getting, right now, at the beginning of March, they've put it out that every single person over 18 has to enlist over there in China. So, you know, the person who was talking about was like, you know, freaking out. Like, we're going to have 1 billion soldiers over here. You got to keep in mind, these people are not fucking soldiers. They aren't fucking soldiers. And like I said before, they're making them wear a helmet that will blow their own heads off. So these people are under complete duress. Like, these are not people who just want to come in and just kill us all. These people are fucking mind controlled. They're every single thing in their lives are so controlled. And then told, like, every single person over 18 is going to come. And then how many that they've already got stuff being dropped over. Oh my God, there's so much stuff. Like, I don't know. You would think something would have already gone down. It's mental how they just drag this shit out. And then it pushes the agenda. Are you just trying to keep us on edge? Are you just trying to keep us anxious so that we don't work on ourselves, so that we don't take this time to expand ourselves and just focus on your fucking bullshit? Because it seems like it, like how things just go and go and go and go on and on and on and on. It's like it's ridiculous. But like last night, I decided I was going to do Joe live, and so and it's so funny too. Way more people tuned in live when I was talking. So, just a little note there. When I was talking, I had a lot of people listening. When he was talking, it wasn't very many, but it was still a fun time. You know, I still had a lot of people. And I got like 2,000 likes in an hour and a half. I think I got like a week's worth of likes in an hour and a half or something. That's probably why a lot of these people go live all the time. I don't know. And plus, they all want to get like money and stuff. And TikTok takes them. I don't get it. Like, you're going to go on and ask people for, so you can get $1. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of people, it's kind of like still are in that kind of like, oh, that means you like me. And that's the big payoff, not the dollar that you got. It's like people care about me. They want to give me something. And I think that's more of what they're needing or wanting. But, oh, I'm sure there's a lot though that go on just to do it. Like, I know. Like, that's why some people try and build their TikToks up, is so they go live so that they can get tips and shit. So I don't know. It's nonsense, especially when you go on and you look at like the big accounts and what they're fucking. Is there a purpose? Do you have a fucking purpose? Like, seriously? Your whole thing is just lip sync or do a dance to a song or I don't know. It's amazing how many people follow that shit. Like, it's so crazy. But I mean, there's still people fucking worshiping Kim Kardashian. Like, are you fucking insane? So yesterday, and somebody, I don't know who the hell, somebody just nonstop making Jennifer Aniston fucking videos on YouTube, like shorts. It's like 1,000,000 shorts of her, and it's her account, but I think it's probably a fan account or something. Surely it's not just her. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. It could be her assistant. Here, go just put me out there all day long so people see me, because I got to be on their mind because I'm going down. So that's how I see it. But so watching it, even when I had said, because earlier in the day I said I'm going to go live tonight when Joe does and critique his performance. And even when I did, there was comments, well, at least he's better than Trump. Are you... Oh my God. Oh my God, people, think for yourselves. It's fucking clear when you're thinking for yourselves, when you are looking and paying attention. It's crystal clear. Oh my Lord. So anyways, it's like, it's giving me a headache. So then I go to do it, and Jill, I mean, seriously, like, I don't want to like woman hate on her, but give me a fucking break. There was a couple of them even that had such inappropriate clothes on for this thing. Like, some woman with some weird big yellow dress with these giant, like, what? What the hell? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was a party afterwards. They were all going to a ball. I was serving up to some kids. They sure do all love each other. Boy, they're all just patting each other. Well, there's a few that weren't patting each other on the back. They were shooting darts and screaming out from the heckling Joe. So, but Jill comes in, and man, I don't know, Chuck. Like, maybe you wear too much makeup for your age, for one thing. But she's just like overdone. She's so overdone. It's like, what are you trying to be? Like old lady Barbie? And then, because you're not. Because we all know what you are. I mean, she's about... There's not a nice word I could say at this point about that chick. So she And she goes in and she kisses some guy on the lips. Goes up and kisses him on the lips. I was like, that's disgusting. Like, what? I don't. How many people do you go? I mean, even friends and stuff. Like, how often do you greet someone and kiss them on the lips? Like, especially if you're married and then you're the opposite. Even if it was like your best friends that come over every weekend for dinner, isn't that just a little too close? Like, isn't a hug or a handshake sufficient? Like, why are you kissing strangers? Like, to me, that was, that was supposed to be that way. Like, we were all supposed to see. And there's people already putting out crazy videos about it because it's so strange. Just walk into Congress, walk over to someone and kiss them. It's weird. And then, so she just sits there like a fucking little, I don't know, old lady Barbie, just like that's it. That's all I got. And then she, every fucking time in her fucking purple lame dress or something, like it's all shiny and sparkly and very tight fitting. Jacket? No, I need to expose what I got going on here. And so she I don't know, man. These people are so weird and sickening to me. And so Joe, for one fucking thing, his mask was jacked. I don't even know. And that's what a lot of us were talking about. And the thing, like, what is up with this mask? Like, it looked like demon eyes because they were so dark. It was like these little slits like this. And this one was kind of like, so it was kind of like this same thing again, where it was like this weird thing with his eyes, like they didn't get it on right. And so one eye was like, and it was so like dark. It looks like a fucking gray or something with these fucking big black eyes. Very demon looking because of the way it was fitting. And then it had other weird things. Like he had some weird things on his neck and stuff. But the top of his head, like everybody kept being like, man, his hair looks so weird. It looks so fucking fake. Especially back here. It looked fake as shit. Like, are they lowering the quality of the mask just so we'll notice? Like, it's so weird looking. And then how it was all jacked up around here. Then here, it was all like pressed down. So we had like a zillion wrinkles right here. And then here was just totally stretched out. Like, it was real stretched. And it was like a different color even. So this was really stretched back like this, except for this lumpy thing above his eyes where it was all jacked up. I don't know how hard these masks are to get on, but we're so busy sitting there looking at his and commenting how Kevin McCarthy is like looking at him like he's not buying what you're selling. And Kamala, something stuck in my nose. Every 2 seconds, she jumps up, just like Jill. I'm a robot. Oh my God, I can't stand her. I don't know who the hell this was either, because then somebody started pointing out, look at her mask. God, she's so weird looking. That is not her, and all this stuff. And I'm not as familiar with her face. I mean, it looked like her. But I totally believe, it looked weird, but like all the time you see them and they are always looking weird. So she always looks weird to me. But her mask was jacked. Once the person started pointing it out, then it was like, so right here, it was like this, it was like, so she had the mask on, which was weird. Like, it was just kind of weird, like right up in here. But then up in here, it was like this, I can't even do it with real skin. Because it was like this big chunk, like a chunk of it was like sticking out. So she's sitting back here like this, but then right here, you have this big thing. And I was like, oh my God, how did I miss that? And then on this side too, there was something weird. So, I don't know. I really want that Scooby-Doo moment, where they pull it off. I love that at the end of Scooby-Doo. And that's what I really want. And I'm curious too, like over like the different heights of these different people who are supposedly playing him. It'd be fun if we could figure out like which person's playing him at which times. And I'm also curious how they maintain that voice. Like, is there some kind of a thing inside, or is it in the microphone? I mean, people have gone to concerts where the people aren't even really singing; it's just coming over the microphone. And so, Yeah, totally could be. Like you could speak into it, but the words that come out of it are of a different pitch. So I don't know. I mean, the technology is so far advanced. I mean, that seems like kind of easy shit. Like for, I mean, they're doing it back when Milli Vanilli or whatever. So I don't know. And then the shit he was saying was so motherfucking absurd. Uh, and how he was just like feeding off of stuff that Trump had done and then trying to pretend like he had done it. And that he's bringing back all this industry. He's lowering prices for us. He has started probably 800 new, let's see, his numbers were outrageous. It was ridiculous. He was really in the billions and trillions a lot, of the billions of this, trillions of that. He's given 800,000 new jobs in this, in the energy. He's given 800,000 new jobs in industry. We're opening this plant. We're opening that plant. We're going to be the ones that are building everything. We're not buying from other people. We're selling and all that stuff. It was like, this is all Trump stuff. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You don't do any of this shit. And then it's so, and how he just stands there. Like, how do you lie like this and then just stand there with a straight face? And then you got these fucking cheerleaders jumping up, cheering you on. And then so many people in the whole fucking arena or whatever it's called, the place where they all sit, would jump up every 2 seconds. Every time he finished a sentence, jump up and cheer. It's like, you think if you keep cheering him along, y'all aren't going down? Because you are. There's no hope. Y'all are even just looking more foolish every single fucking day. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, it's so curious. Like, is it all just for us to see for the awakening? Or do some of these people really believe their own bullshit? Like, I don't know. It's a bizarro world. But yeah, he said a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of nonsense. It was fucking ridiculous. And he did keep talking, like, for sure. I think that they have one, and I don't know if it really is an Alzheimer's person or what, or if they're just really good at acting like they've got dementia. So I don't know, but there's definitely one that is that. The one last night, it seemed like a different one. Like they have to pull out one that, I don't know, it kind of gave me an idea of like who I thought it was, but I don't know, but it was definitely everything that is done like that is for a reason. Like if they're bringing all this stuff about Trump and what he did, and how he would try and say like he's just trying to get over all. I mean, Trump left it in such a mess. He's just got to fix all this shit. I was like, dude, you are fucking and him with all his executive order, all this stuff that he has signed into. Like, you don't have any rights to sign shit. You're not even fucking legit. Like, what? I'm not gonna buy it. Just you sell your shit. I'm not buying. Other people want to buy it. Go ahead. Believe him. Do what he says. Think he's your fucking hero. Good luck with that, because you're going to be really embarrassed when you see the truth. That is what I think so many people don't realize. Like, they don't really realize what spiritual growth and stuff is all about. And it is humility. It is growth. It is having to face yourself. Like, that is what it's all about. And so, it's going to go down. That's what's going to happen. That is why so many people are so locked in to this agenda that it's their awakening. They have to feel that humility of like, I cannot believe I didn't see this. How did all these people see this and I didn't see it? I mean, you still have people up there fucking defending Kim. Oh, God damn. Are you fucking kidding me? It is, oh my God, it's mental. And, today, the videos, I was seeing lots and lots of people awakening and wanting to help other people and trying to, say, you're not crazy. And I saw this one guy, he was talking about, he is freaked out about and a lot of the people think that there is all these demons surrounding us trying to take over our bodies, and it is there's a whole thing about that. And so, there's thousands of demons that were allowed on the planet, and they're all surrounding us and trying to get us if we don't wake up or whatever, the whole thing. Like, I don't know. I guess they could want to have a couple minutes in your body or something. I don't know. Like, it's not like you can stay asleep and move forward. And it's not like you could do shitty things and move forward. So, like, the only way to move forward is to awaken and to start taking care of yourself and loving yourself so that you can love others, because we're going into a world of love. I mean, it's pretty fucking simple. I don't think it's that complicated. So everything has to purge out. All of the bullshit, it all has to purge out. And so many people are blinded to the truth because of their own biases, that they don't see what others see, so that they haven't seen it clearly yet. And so that is what this whole, like, this abrupt awakening that is going to occur. Like, I still don't know. I mean, like, it's definitely not like Turkey way over there can have this horrible tragedy, and anybody over here is going to wake up quite clearly, because they don't have the empathy, the compassion, the concern. They're too busy caught up in their own shit. So that's where we have to keep having this shit that is going to affect people all around us. That is why we have to be in these places where there's just horrible things that keep happening over and over and over. And you got to remember, if you're awake through it, is because you're the light of that place. It's not because you're going to be affected in the same way. If you're already awake, then you already see what's going on. This is to wake them up so they can see. So they have to keep going through these horrible traumas that are just horrible, especially like if you can see it coming, but you can't tell anybody because they can't hear you until it happens, and they have it happen. So then it wakes them up. It pulls them into the present moment through trauma. And so all these people have to keep going through these things. And so, when people are like, oh, people aren't going to wake up. Well, I don't agree. And I think, that is those people's things that they have to see. Those people that are all in ego, like, oh, I'm awake, these stupid moral, these NPCs, like, just talking shit. Like, we weren't all NPCs? Like, what? And so we've all been there. We've all been in the same boat. We all know what we had to go through in order to wake up, and then what we had to go through from that point on. And it's difficult. And so all the people all have to go through these things. But these people they aren't even fully woke up. The ones who get all judgmental and stuff like that, that's not fully awakened. Because once you fully awaken, judgment hurts you. Like, as soon as you start to judge somebody, you feel it inside you, like, ugh. That's why I can't even fucking say what I really think about Jill. Like there's lots of people, like I could say way worse stuff about a lot of people, but I feel inside it just starts being judgy. Like, you can't get over it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. God, it's disgusting. I gotta stop. I don't want to be judgy like that. Like, these people have got their own shit to learn. They're all playing a role. Everybody's playing a role. We don't need to be like, but it's real easy to do in this three-dimensional world, to get caught up like that. So, but all of these people who are in that kind of attitude and so judgy on the people who haven't woke up, see, they all have to face that side of themselves. So they have to face their own judgy, bitter side of themselves at the same time that the people who wake up have to wake up to their facing their own biases and why they couldn't see the truth, and how all the people they thought were stupid could see the truth, but they couldn't see the truth. So I think everybody's stupid, but they saw the truth. So what am I? And so those are the things. Those things are the things that people have to try and get over. It's the judgment of self. People just keep on thinking, well, if we change this, we change that, we change it, blah, 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 everything will be better. No, it starts here. Everything has to change in you. Your life. And the benefit is just like in the movie, that once you start changing you, your life will start getting better. And partly it's because you start seeing through the game. You start having a different attitude. You start feeling better. You don't feel the same way in life when the challenges are, when you feel like life's out to get you, when you realize, oh, it's a game, oh, it's supposed to, oh, I've got to level up, oh, these are the tools I'm gaining, oh, you start seeing it very, very differently. But all these people who are, they're trapped. It's like this, where people call it this trapped in the matrix or something. They can't see beyond the illusion, beyond the games that are being played. But like I've said, since I started, there's going to be this, like the lights come on. There's going to be this real. And the scary thing is like, I don't know, last year, I don't know, I've been talking about this shit so long, but that when I was saying, is it going to be little things that are going to keep waking people up, which, apparently, yeah, that's working. But for the big abrupt, the big aha moment, it's going to be something really, really big, like bigger than I think in Turkey, like a lot of people are waking up from what they're going through, coming together, uniting, and they've got the big red cloud over them again now all of a sudden. Oh, and the one guy who I was talking about the these things, he said that he keeps seeing all this footage of these people. And he said this one in the convenience store where he just all of a sudden, the guy turned his head, like turned it way too far. And then when he turned it, I think we've all seen these footages of these crazy shit that is happening to people. And, some of them are, there's a lot of people who look like they're probably Chinese or something. Could be total propaganda videos from a movie or something, for all we know, if it's even really happening. But so there's these turning real quick and then turning their whole body. So once they turn their head and they see this thing and they start trying to follow it, then they just turn their whole body. And some of them, you'll see them like trying to hit this thing. You can't see it or anything. And they're trying to hit it, and then some of them will start running and hitting and stuff, like all sorts of stuff. And then this guy said that they fall over and their heart explodes because they're having a heart attack, because it's so scary, because they're seeing things we can't see. So they're seeing the demons or the monsters or whatever that is here to take over everybody's body. That's what these people are all thinking. I don't know. It could be, probably something in your head, like if you haven't had things, like you can have someone's come into your head to talk to you, and it's like, it is not any different when they come in as if they just went like all of a sudden right in your face. Like, it's, if your inner eyes are working, then it's very similar to your outer eyes. So, and your outer eyes are, they're meant to be your view for this 3D world, so that you can see what was in front of you, so that you could experience the senses of this place. And so then once you go into, the other levels, it's, it's more in your mind. It's more in your consciousness. It's not, because this around us is really in our minds. It's not really here. And so that is how fucking fantastic we are. That's where people think being human, flesh and blood, is very limiting when you compare to what we are. And where people want to be, flesh and blood and live and all the stuff. It's like, I don't know. The whole thing, I am, therefore I am. You are alive just because you are alive. There is nothing to stop that. Once you become consciously aware of yourself as energy, you exist. That's it. And then when you are around all of it, you understand how the universe works. and how we have all of this energy around us. And, all energy, I believe, wants to have consciousness. They want to understand themselves. They want to see themselves. They want to understand what they are. I mean, if you're just out there as just thought in space, why wouldn't you want to know who and what you were? It would be a very big question. Like, what am I? Who am I? And then you go in and you start trying to see yourself. And then you see, oh, so I look different all the time depending on what family I come into. I have different abilities. I have different things I look at depending on the challenges. So there's a whole thing, to the incarnating so that you can understand who you are. And that is what this big ascension process is for all this consciousness to begin to take control of itself. Like, you've gone through all these lives. Now you've done all this. Now it's time. You can do something more. Like, what did you learn? What have you learned through all of these lives that you have lived? And are you ready to take responsibility for yourself? Are you ready to level up? That's all it is. This isn't, and even if people aren't ready, to ascend, you're still leveling up. You're still expanding yourself. Every fucking challenge that happens to a soul is expansion. Like, things don't expand. Like, if everything's going good, you've got everything you need. Like, where's the growth? Growth occurs when you don't have what you need, when you have to make choices, and when you're challenged. That's when you grow. And then when you make your decisions of what you're going to do in each circumstance, shows you who you are at your core. And that is like where so many people are going to have to face, man, I'm kind of a nasty, kind of rude asshole. If somebody doesn't agree with me, I'll fucking tear them a new one. And so those kinds of things are the things that you have to recognize in yourself. And it's not about so that everybody can, gather up around you and throw stones and tell you what an idiot asshole you are and you wreck them. No, this is yours. This is for you. So you get to go in and see, like, okay, so am I comfortable with that? Okay, well, I feel like I'm being honest. I feel like I'm being truthful and sincere. And so, yeah, I feel good about what I have said. And so then you go through your life feeling good about that. Then you can go to your review and you can go in and you can witness yourself say that to somebody. And then you feel it from their side. So you get a new perspective, what it felt like to have that said to you. And that is a new growth, a new expansion, a new way of looking. Then you may want to go back in and challenge yourself, like, to the new things that you have learned and expanded yourself to see how good you are at it. Hence the video game theory. Hence the, projecting yourself into a game to see yourself. And then in all of these games, though, you come in and play a role, just like you pick a piece before you play Monopoly. Which piece are you going to be? Are you going to be the little car? Are you going to be the little guy? So we all pick our player of who we're going to be. What's our role? What's the thing that we came into play here in this game? And, it's just like the same as movie parts. And like, that's where all these things become so much more than what we can even comprehend. And life is so much more, and it's so in our connection to things, in our obligation to the universe expansion and to the other energies around us, so that all energies, all consciousness, all things can begin to understand themselves and begin to expand in the universe, in the connection. And all things are always expanding. So anyways, to me, again, when I hear people saying stuff, I just think that they just don't understand really what's going on here. And yeah, there's going to be loss. There's going to be a lot of loss. There's going to be a lot more loss. I think we're going to have a very dramatic situation that's going to happen with mass amount of loss, and it's going to be devastating. And, those things, so Because, people think like, oh, well, it's a really bad thing. It's bad. But it's not. And that's where people have to start seeing both sides of things. They got to start understanding living life and the world on a more broader perspective. Like I said so many times, it's like such a primitive way of looking at life here exists. Like how people look at things, and and I understand like the challenges and stuff, like the religion, and even if you were connected to your spiritual side, there was only acceptance of certain things. Like as soon as I said, well, no, I'm not religious, I'm just spiritual, I'm telling you, people couldn't 40 years ago, people didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about when you said spiritual. Now you got all this, like, I saw a commercial yesterday. I saw it more than once too, and it was, of course, when I had on that fucking stupid ass State of the Union. So it was fucking NBC or some bullshit. So they're programming commercials, and this one was the spiritual world is just really out of control. It's full of cute people. It's full of people who question things. These people are just completely insane, and they're against science. And we have to, we gotta get rid of these spiritual people. Like they're way out there. Like, and they don't take responsibility for humanity and all this stuff. Like, the commercial's whack. I'm telling you, it's whack. And you have, this yoga, because yoga classes are just full. They're just full of these crazy people. And this woman who's from a yoga class is talking, and she's just like, yeah, it's so toxic. It's just, oh my God. The manipulation, but see, the people, like, this is where people don't get it. They think, like, the people who are asleep are seeing the same things you're seeing. But that's not what they're seeing. They're seeing this. They're seeing this stuff. My kids are still convinced I'm in some sort of a fucking cult. The Q cult or something. It's like, dude, it's not even a cult. Like, what? That is something that is made up. That is not real. Stella! Stella! What in the hell is she doing? She's just go in there and just wake her up. That's her tail, slamming into each wall. Her tail is like an arm. Like if you just took your arm, it just started hitting the walls back and forth. That's what her... Stella, come here! Oh, God, I swear to God. I don't know, maybe she's getting the dementia. No idea what she's doing. It's so dark down there, I can't see anything. What are you doing? Will you lay down? Stop it, I am doing something. You're acting nutty. Go. Maybe she's too focused on... I know that she's got some muscle spasms in her back, but dude, when you walk around limping all the time, you're going to get muscle spasms. I'm just really glad when the weather starts getting better. I don't know what she went down there and did, but okay. So, anyways, I'm just totally thrown out now, whatever you fucking talking about. Anyways, people don't get what the hell's going on. So they're, caught up in like prophecy, and so many are just like, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. Like I saw this woman yesterday. Like, I've taken my child out of school because it's the end of the world and I want to spend all my time with them. To me, if you're feeling that inside, it's because your guides are telling you, like, focus on this. And then that is where, to me, those people will be leaving, and they just know it. They just feel it, like it's coming. And so that they're going. I think there's a lot of people, but they're so scared of the unknown that they don't even want to think about it. Like, if you start putting it into your mind, like where people are like, I don't see the future. I don't see, this is the end. This is the end of the world. And, if that's how you feel, then, your guides are preparing you, I would think, for where you're going next. And just keep in mind, like, this is probably one of the worst places you've ever been. Just wrap your head around that. This is probably one of the worst places. And I know it's hard to want to leave, because we don't want to leave family and loved ones. We don't want to. But you got to remember, they're all around you. There is no real leaving. We're all really a part of the same thing. So there's no getting away from each other, really. So, and when you're going to be leaving this place, a lot of people are going to be going back home, like where that they are or where they spend more time or something. Like, it's going to be very familiar. It's not going to be scary. It's not going to be horrible. It's going to be a reunion, and it's going to be exciting. And so don't get caught up in like, I don't see any future. I don't see any, let it go. It doesn't matter. Because you're going somewhere it's going to probably be way better. The stuff that's going to be going on here is going to be very hard and very challenging for a while. We still got to go through all these people waking up and all these people who think they're awake haven't even woke up yet. We got to go through all of that. We got to go through all of the destruction, all of everything changing, then go into the rebuilding, then go into the full-on retraining of what humanity is, the reseeding of human beings on this planet and the purpose and the point of existence here. So there's a lot to change, and if you came and you already learned what you came here to learn, and you already expanded what you came here to expand, and you're going home or going, I just say people have got to get out of their heads that they're going somewhere worse. Like you're 100% more than likely going somewhere way, way better. Like way better. Like this is this place. I don't think people realize. Like all these people want to hold on to it so badly. Like this is a very I swear to God, it's like we are in hell, and people want to hold. Oh, but what else? It could be worse. I don't want to go anywhere else. It could be worse than this. It's like no, it's gonna be better, way better. We are in such a low vibration. Even the planet can't take it anymore. The planet is expanding. Like there's no. So yeah, when you leave here, there is some souls though, who like have got a lot of learning left to do. Any souls like that will go to a place that's similar to this, but I don't think that it is like how all these people think everything is like this punishment. Oh, you didn't say Jesus. Oh, you didn't do this. You didn't do that right. You didn't do this right. And then you're going to hell. Well, we're in hell. This is the waking up so that you can realize where you are. Notice like, oh, that's negative. Oh, that's negative. Oh, that's yucky. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's yuck. That's for you to figure out. Instead, we have all these people, oh, I'll play. I'll do that. And so then they have to go through this experience to see what they were really doing so that they can understand themselves. Like it's so much more. It's simple, yet it's super complicated because people don't really understand what the challenges really are. And they're deep. They're deep inside of people. Like, it is a challenge to face yourself. It's a challenge to pull up your old shit and get it out of you. Those are big things. That's why it's a fucking huge thing to ascend, to let go of this shit and let your soul relieve itself of all of the burdens of all of these lives. So anyways, I just know it is lots of challenges and I don't know. I swear, sometimes I can go in the mirror, I can go on this thing and my hair look like, what in the hell? And I'll go look in the mirror and look totally normal. Oh my God. It's got to be something with it. Like, I don't know. It drives me crazy though. But anyways, those are the things like that people have to see. Like it isn't simple stuff. This is deep, deep stuff that you got to work on. And it isn't to please somebody else. It isn't to fix somebody else. It's only to fix you. It's all the different people around you that trigger you and bring things up in you are there because that's what's supposed to happen. These people love you enough to come in and be the bad guy for you. And so just, remember that. Like, there's certain logical things I think that can help people can remember to help them feel better about life. And remembering, that the people who challenge you the most really love you. They're willing to come in and play this role for you so that you can grow. And so, and some people are very good at playing their roles. Like, they'll really seem like a rotten fucking bastard. And I don't know how I had awareness of some of this stuff when I was a kid. Like I, even when I knew my dad was who he was, I still, I didn't have like where I see how some people have a lot of judgment against the people who have wronged them. I didn't have that. Like I knew I needed to protect myself. I knew I needed to stay away from him. I knew I needed to keep other kids away from him. I knew I needed to spread the word, keep the kids away from him. And then kind of partly it was also like, you should be able to recognize that for yourself. Like how many, you know, drunk people are drunk from the time they get up in the morning until they pass out at night, who are very morally challenged. How many people are going to leave that person to babysit? I would think it would be pretty simple, but you know, those people can find ways to get into your house, you know, and oh, why don't you guys go ahead, go up and get a coffee together, go spend some time together. I'll sit here with the kids, you know, and then, you know, I knew better, but I didn't ever think like I've never been like a hateful person where I hated people. Like even in times when somebody had challenged me and I'd be like, oh, I hate them so much. I would really be like, but do you? Do you really? I don't know. I don't think so, because giving someone hate, putting all that energy into somebody is a lot of emotion. You're very attached. You're very attached to the situation, the scenario. So when you're feeding it full of your hate, that's an emotion that you are willing to participate in this relationship with. So you have to question yourself, like, why? Why do I hate them so much? Why do I want to focus on them? Why do I want to give them my energy? And, you know, because somewhere in there you got hurt. And whatever it was they hurt, you want to try and protect yourself. So hating them seems like the best way to do it, but it's not. You just got to go in and figure out what got hurt. What in me is hurt? What in me is broken? What in me can I fix? And how can I look at life differently so that I can see things in a more positive way? This world will beat you down with the negativity and keep you just focused on everything that is a challenge, everything that's hard, beat you down until you feel like shit. I mean, they'd be happy if we all just went in and did ourselves. I mean, they don't even need the fucking maps machine. Except that I know that they want to capture consciousness. I swear to God, there's no reason to have a machine like that if they're not trying to capture something in there. Because, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing is weird. And another thing, too, is this was really sad. And this was in the videos of the hospital traumas going on right now. And this one, I think hers was in 2020, but she was screaming. Like her whole video was her screaming, like Sam Kinison or something. She's, so she was completely disgusted because all of this criminal stuff that they did to her father, against all of the things that they were saying, the family, they wouldn't let the family in. They wouldn't listen to what the family said. They were doing whatever they want. They were doing things that they were asked definitely not to do. And then even at the point where they had the guy almost dead, then they put him on palliative care. And the woman said they gave him one insure in almost 2 weeks. So she was out. She was so outraged. Like they starved him to death. Like all of this stuff. They gave him medicine to make him sicker. Oh, she was so mad. And but that's what I've been saying. Medical is not like what people think. It is. It's, you gotta wrap your head around like the pharmaceutical, like the people. It's the ones who are into petroleum and plastics and shit. They're the ones who keep coming up with these more chemicals, more chemicals. Oh, we could do this, we could do that. They hire people that understand the chemicals so that they can try and outwit each other, outdo each other, come up with the magic pill that will all pay whatever. You know, oh, I want to live forever. I'll take it. You know, I want to feel good. I'll take it. It's like people have got to start taking responsibility. You want to live forever? Fucking take care of yourself. You want to fucking feel good? Take care of yourself. There's no pill that's going to do anything for you. The pills are there to make your body stop working and be dependent on the pill, to be dependent on the system, to be dependent on science. And, you know, they want to keep on pushing. Like, I'm a fucking science denier all day long. I'll be a fucking anti all day long at this point. Like, call me what you want. Like, fuck. It's bullshit. And that doesn't mean, you know, I'm some sort of fanatical Christian either. And it's like people can't, well, you're either this or you're this. You're this or you're this. It's like, no, that's your limitation, not mine. You got limiting beliefs like that. You need to fucking open up your mind. You think, oh, you're this or you're this. You're this or you're this. You got to get something open up in there. And it's the biggest thing. If I could get people to really recognize is, you know, for one thing, this place is way different. So, you know, you should love yourself and, you know, pat yourself on the back sometimes for how challenging this world is. But the other thing is well, be kind to people. But I can't even remember. I guess those were the things. Like, if people could just understand, like, this is about your own personal growth. This is for you. It's not against you. It's for you. Life isn't out to get you. It's out to help you. It's the way you look at it. You know, and if you could get everybody to realize, like, you can't trust the fucking government. You can't trust the people in charge, the people who sell us things, the people who own everything. Even in Joe's speech, he said something about, you know, I mean, ridiculous stuff. Like, now, part of his administration, they're going to take on the airlines. They're going to take on every fucking corporation for credit cards for charging fees. No longer will it be $30 fee. It will be $8 fee. And all of these things that he's taking on to make all of these changes. Oh my gosh, this is fucking nonsense. Like, he's not going to do any of that. He's not going to take any of these on. And besides the fact that they're all owned by the same motherfucking people. Two companies own every motherfucking thing. Two. Vanguard and BlackRock own every fucking thing. Everything comes out from there. So, yeah, you're not doing shit, dude. Like, all it does is, like, Braniff went bankrupt, so let's just absorb it, shoot it out over here with a new name. Like, that's all these people do. It's just that game where you have the three shells and you have that thing underneath it. It's just this constant, look over here, look over there, look over there. That's all they fucking do all motherfucking time. It's all about confusion. It's all about to keep you unsteady, unstable on your feet, to be chasing something that you're never going to get. It's our whole fucking thing. And man, there's just so many people who are happy to live that kind of life. And I don't think that it's going to be that they're not going to wake up. I think it's going to be they're going to see something, and not all of them will be able to go forward. Like, some won't be able to get over as soon as they see their own ignorance, their own biases, their own hatefulness, their own judgment. That'll be it for them. They won't be able to get over it. They won't be able to humble themselves. They won't be able to clean up their own messes. They're just going to want to escape, because that's kind of like how people have been trained here. And it's just, the sad thing is like they think like that's all they are, so they give up, and then they go, and then you get to the other side and you're like, oh my God, every motherfucking time I get in there I forget who I am. That's the challenge right there. So anyways, stay focused on who you are. Don't stay on with their games and everything. Joe was saying there was a point. There was a point to bringing that stuff up. There was a point to all of this stuff that Trump had been trying to do, for Joe to start trying to take credit about industry and export and import and all that stuff, and the farmers and the gas, all of it. And so, and is it so that we just get to talking about it so that, in the grand scheme of things, when things start going down and somebody's like, well, yeah, Joe did this and he's doing that, and then it all comes out where all that really came from, then, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, I gotta get this foot out of my mouth. I gotta get this foot out of my mouth. Wait, I got a fist in there too. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't even like to talk to some people about it. It's like, I don't want to sit here and watch you insert all of your fucking fists and feet into your mouth because you're ignorant. Like, so many people will sit and argue and argue and argue about things that they have not even looked into at all. It's like, look into some of this stuff. Look into things before you start saying things aren't true. Otherwise, you just look stupid. I mean, when you have thousands of people, millions of people saying something and you still don't believe it, like I thought one of my friends made a good point today because he said, what do we have to do? Have them go up there and just, you essay a kid right on stage for you guys to see what's going on with these people? Like, I think they could do a human sacrifice right on the stage and nobody'd even notice. And how much of this Smith dance thing that went on it was a ritual to cause some of this mass death and stuff. Like, I mean, that's the kind of shit that they do. And I don't know. It's weird now that the red cloud's back over Turkey. Like, what's to come? Like, I don't know. Yeah, things are going to just keep going crazier and crazier. We have this possibility now where we're going to have people sprouting mushrooms and just wanting to eat us because they're not even inhabited by themselves anymore. Or is there soul in there, but they've lost control? Like, I don't know. This place is so fucking whacked. I don't know how long it's just, to me, it just shocks me how long it goes on. I cannot believe how it goes on and on and on and on. It's like, why is Joe even up there talking? Why is he not arrested yet? Like, oh my God. Jesus Christ. I mean, Trump, I swear to God, I think that was like one thing. And, immediately they're on, oh, we're going to meet in Congress. We're having him impeached. We're having it right now. And Joe, he just keeps on doing whatever he wants. Well, nothing. Just a few hecklers yelling out, like, yeah. But 98% of them are going down. Just keep that in mind, 98% of them. So all those people out there, it's like, that was your last shebang, probably. Like, and just how many of them are already missing in action. Like, when you've got these stand-in players wearing masks and shit. And, and they just kept showing all of this. Like, they have certain people that they always go up and show. Those people are the ones, to me, that are being brought onto the stage. Every time someone is brought onto the main stage for any reason, whatever they're doing, I don't know, pay attention. And so, anyways, I think more stuff, just like I had said before, once that stuff had gone down, if it kept going, it was just to keep bringing more shit out. It's like, how much fucking laundry is there? God damn. But no matter what, I mean, March 1st is a big date. China is gonna plan on dropping off 1 billion soldiers over here or some shit. Like, I don't know. So, I don't know. I think over the next couple of weeks, I think it's going to just keep building. It's going to keep building, and something big and bad is going to happen. And who knows how soon or what it's going to be. But, man, all you got to do is pay attention. People are not waking up. Things have to get worse and worse and worse. They have to get more and more absurd, more and more ridiculous to get people to pay attention. And that's a huge humility for the egotistical people who this is happening to. So anyways, just keep all that in mind, because the things that we do need to really work on is our compassion, our empathy, our work on ourselves and not judge others, not feel we need to change somebody else to change ourselves, all of that stuff. So anyways, just stay in your logic, not in the fucking bullshit that they want to keep you trapped in. So anyways, stay strong. We'll see how this day goes. I swear to God, we're just always in the fucking fog out here where I'm at. And then they just bring in the wind, and it's like, man, every day it's like, what's today gonna be? Yesterday I thought we were gonna have a flood. My driveway was full of water, and then when I went and got water and stuff, and the river was starting to go up over the street over there. It's like, oh my God, they're just gonna, it just goes on and on and on. Just flood, wind, fire, storm, like, and that's where I know all this stuff is not natural. Like some of the things are natural, not all of them. So anyways, just keep staying safe. And I guess apparently a lot of people are saying make sure you have an earthquake ready kit because I don't know, be expecting earthquakes to be in places that they aren't normally, and you got to be ready, and it comes in immediately fast. Like the people up there in I saw a lady who lived in Vegas. Oh, I want to say something about Vegas too. A lady who had moved from Vegas to, or she was from Buffalo, moved to Vegas and moved back to Buffalo. When she was in Vegas, she had gone through earthquakes. When she went to Buffalo, right back in Buffalo, and this one just happened, she said that there was some weird things that did not match normal earthquakes. And she had never had an earthquake before that had a loud explosion beforehand. Same thing that happened in Turkey. A loud explosion where people were saying it was like an energy weapon or something that hit. And so Buffalo said the same, that there was this loud explosion. And then she said things started shaking. Like she said she had been through 6s before in Vegas. And this was supposed to be a 4. And she said it was way worse than a 6. She said everything was just shaking and going crazy. So, you know, a bunch of people have been saying, you know, have a backpack ready with stuff. So if you do have to take out, like if your house starts falling down around you, that you have stuff that you can hurry up and get out. But I think that's mainly, you know, everybody who's ready for anything is, you know, bugged out, bag, whatever you got, you know. I have a tent in my car, but then you think like I may not even be able to evacuate. So I don't know, you just gotta be prepared. You gotta have water, you gotta have food, you gotta have the shit you need in order to take care of yourself. And so the other thing, I'll just end with this thing on Vegas, is this guy was showing this footage, and he goes, this is how Vegas treats their citizens. You have to go to the DMV to get a car, like to get your tabs renewed. You have to go to the DMV to do that there. Here, we just send them in the mail. So we don't have to go to the DMV, and we have licensing places. So it's just this little office where you just go in and, you know, I don't know, maybe you've had to wait for 5 people before, but it's very set. That's all they do. Is it's changing licenses and stuff. So in Vegas, you have to go to this the DMV to get your tabs, and the line, the guy was showing the line, and this was early in the morning. I mean, it was like, it's like 7 in the morning. And the whole thing, like he was all the way at the back where people were getting dropped off, which was way out. And then he started walking up to show you how far it was. Oh my God. It was like, and it was like a Black Friday at Walmart or something, like the line wrapping around the building twice kind of thing. It was like, it was nonsense. And he said it's even worse. It's like 30, 40 degrees, and they want you to stand out for hours. They don't care. It's not like there's a cutoff place where we're only going to take 100 people. Everyone after that, go home. No, he said that they will leave you out there all day long. You have to stay in this line for hours and hours all day long. And then if they don't reach you by the end of the afternoon, you just got to come back the next day. You don't even get a little thing to put you at the front of the line. Like they just expect you to each day take off work and come down there and wait in this thing. It's ridiculous, especially when it's being done in more efficient ways in other places. Like that is to fuck with people. And you know, one thing is people just don't realize, like, think about, why do you live where you live? What is it you're looking for where you live? What is it you want? I mean, people are trying to get a lifestyle in certain places, you know? I think it's time to start changing. Create your own lifestyle. Don't go in and try and be a part of the one that's there, because it's toxic and it's never going to work out the way you think. So anyways, just another thing to think about. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.